So, you wanna be a high-ducking, creepy-crawling, rage-art-blocking, demon-possessing, one-and-done generating machine? You're watching the right video, bub. Zafina is so much fun. With every game, she just gets better and better designs. Tekken 7 is still my favorite design, but this one is honestly just peak. You can see the arm getting progressively worse with the Zazel taking over, which is a cool detail to include. Yes, she has been nerfed, and is arguably one of the worst characters in the game. Yeah, I wrote this before the buffs. She definitely is quite the menace now. But don't be a tier whore and abandon good old Zafina because of that, because she still has a major advantage. Knowledge checks. Stance mix-up, stance pressure, stance crushing, stance. I have decided to start with this because honestly, if you want to learn pokes and combos and crushing properties, you need to know what to press when using them. But she has so many stances that you have to learn. Shh. Hush, child. Zafin will take care of you now. Scarecrow. This is the most important stance of all three, and the one you're gonna want a PhD for. This is your way to get to your best heat engager and even an armored launcher. But this is probably one of the most vulnerable states with Zafina, considering you have to condition your opponent in order to successfully apply your mix-up during it. You can enter Scarecrow in many ways, and make sure to mix up on how you do it, because your opponent will figure out what strings transition into it. Neutral 3+4, or just 3, or down for 3, neutral 1-3, or 1-2-3, or while running 3, and 4-2-3 are gonna be your main way to go into Scarecrow realistically. Every other transition into it is from other stances. To get out of any stance, by the way, just hold down or up. Now for the actual moves. Scarecrow 1 is your quick jab check in order to beat or interrupt your opponent's offense. Scarecrow 1-4 is a transitioning attack to put you into Tarantula, which we will get to later. Scarecrow 3-3 is a quick mid-high that is safe with pushback, and wall splats for a wall combo. Scarecrow 4 is your power crush launcher that is a good way to punish those you know are going to press a button for a launch. It is -18, so try to use it sparingly. Your best friend Scarecrow down forward 4 is your high crushing load that counter hits for a launch. Scarecrow back 1+2 is her old poke that is only accessible through Scarecrow, unfortunately. Seriously, like please bring it back. Scarecrow down forward 1 is her tornado move for combos, and it is safe but not optimal to use for mix-up due to the whole health getting eaten. Scarecrow down 3-3 is a low high that can launch on counter hit, but you mostly want to use it just for the low really. And finally, Scarecrow 1+2, which you can transition into Tarantula if you hold down, is your pressure tool that is +7 on block. Holy! This is the method to safely apply 50-50 while keeping yourself safe, and if you score a hit, you get a free back 3. Or a down Tarantula 1+2. I mean, it's just up to you really. Well, there is also Scarecrow down 4, which knocks down for a follow-up, I think, and the Scarecrow down 3-3 house sweep. Don't do this unless you want to be cheap. Which looks nothing like a Mantis, I guess, is your second most important stance and is the safest one, if I may say so. You get to ignore basically all highs and some select mids, but you can also block, which you can't in other stances. Your opponent won't know. A lot of times they just won't know. You can bait a few things if your opponent doesn't know, by the way. Realistically, you can make it to red ranks with just Scarecrow and Mantis. Probably you can make it to purple ranks with just those two. So let's get started on the basics. You always want to have a plan when going into this stance. You don't want to give your opponent too much time to figure out what he can do to knock you out of it. You can access this stance from down 3+4 and can transition to it from a normal down 3 if you hold down. Mantis 2 is a quick mid check that is -14, but people are too scared of the follow-up, Mantis 2-1-4. Or the stance itself that they won't dare press anything sometimes, they might get counter hit. Mantis 3-1 is your low mid string that can float your opponent on counter hit, or naturally, if they just don't block. This is gonna work with 99% of players below red ranks. That it will almost feel like a hell sweep. It is safe, but the low itself isn't, so, be careful when choosing to poke with it. Mantis 4-3 is the funny, I'm gonna launch you to space. Counter hit low move, it's like a low mid. It is -30, but it has insane pushback, so be rested that no one is gonna punish this until like purple ranks. Use it very carefully at the wall, because at the wall it's actually quite punishable. Mantis 1+2 is your power crush that knocks down for a guaranteed back 3. You're gonna hear a lot of guaranteed back 3s in this video. Mantis 1-3 is your mid-high stance transitioning into Scarecrow. Mantis up forward 3+4 is your low crushing move that can also be used in combos for a ground break in certain stages. Mantis down forward 1 is a great mixing mid tool and a heat engager. It is also plus on block. Yeah, so you can definitely mix your opponent up after with a down 3 or even a down 4-2 if they don't respect it. Now, when the devs said there would be buffs, I never thought it would be for Tarantula specifically. She is now a stance switching, pressure applying goddess, cause these buffs are ridiculous. I mean, 1 force plus what? Yo! Well, let's get into it. So this stance is the one that will definitely haunt your opponent, especially after the buffs. To get into the stance, you press down 1+2. And from here is where you will have fun mixing your opponent, knowing that the worst thing that will happen to you is probably either getting knocked out of it for small damage or go right over them. So this is the stance where you have to know how each opponent responds. Some refuse to duck, they just won't duck ever, so you always get a free low, sometimes 2, or even a hell sweep. Some duck every time you are in it, and some may know exactly how to knock you out of that stance. But there is an answer for everything, mostly. So Tarantula 3 is the mid knockdown tool, which you can follow up with Tarantula down 1+2 for guaranteed damage. You also have access to a low that has low damage, but if you score a counter hit, you also get a free follow-up. Your opponent has good defense and won't fall for anything? Well, Tarantula 1+2 has got you covered because it goes right over most, if not every low. But most people do the wrong punish because they get left on crouching status, so they'll always just press the wrong button, so you get just free damage. You also have Tarantula down 4-2, but that's not really a move you would use for mix-ups, and only for Tornado in case you land 1-4 counter hit for some juicy damage. The real menace is Tarantula down 1. Not the buff I expected, but a welcome one for sure. It really is the perfect setup tool for her. I mean, look at all the options she has. I have Azure doing the fastest button, a 10-frame jab, and she still trades if I go for my slow-ass 16-frame down 4-2. Pokes. Now that we are finally done with stances, we can talk a bit about her best poking tools. She isn't really a poking character per se when she is just in her normal stance. That's why you need to use her different stances for some of that. Down 3 is gonna be your best friend, long range, decent damage, can transition to Mantis and counter hits for a combo. It is quite punishable and also kind of reactable. But if you master your placing for this low, it will be worth it. Down back 3 is also a good poke with low commitment and can go into Scarecrow for mix-ups. You can also cancel the Scarecrow transition It is lacking in range, but it is a good option for mix-ups into pressure at the wall. She has a pretty good down forward 1 with good range and hits quite low as well, and can be extended for mix-ups. Forward forward 3 is a good mid-check that is plus on block that can lead to pressure in Scarecrow or cancelled. If it counter hits, you get a guaranteed heat engager both in Scarecrow or not in Scarecrow when you cancel it with down forward for 1. That's really about it. The rest of your poking is really gonna be when you are using your stances. Pressure, plus, plus, plus. She has quite a lot of moves that leave her plus, and your opponent will most likely press because they don't know better. Good old up forward 1 when your opponent is at the wall, and following that up with a down forward 1-4 is so effective it feels dumb. Forward forward 3 is going to be your main pressure tool for neutral, followed by forward forward 4, which is a great safe homing move that will wall splat as well. Scarecrow 1+2 gives so many frames, and when mixing it with your stance switching, you will become a menace. If you have a very impatient opponent, you could use 1+2 or 1+2-4 or 1+2-4 to maybe catch them pressing. But it is punishable and can be interrupted, so make sure to always mix it up just in case. Her wall running attacks have also been buffed. Wall running 3 gives good frames and leaves you in Scarecrow, but it is sidesteppable if they know it's coming. Wall running 1+2 is the new god move now, with it being a homing attack and giving insane mix-up in Tarantula. It can be ducked, so make sure to mix it up with 4-4 sometimes. Parry. She has a very good parry move. My god, this thing is gonna get nerfed. Look at the damage, what the? You absorb some damage, but you get a guaranteed back 3 every time. It can be dangerous spamming it, so use it sparingly, so you condition your opponent to not just attack endlessly. It does lose to grabs and lows, so, watch out. Very basic grab game, nothing too special except 2+4 grab leaves you in Mantis. And the up forward 1+2 grab that can get you a guaranteed follow-up with down 2-3 if they don't roll or stand up quickly. For punishment, well, for fast punishment you have 1-3, you have 1-4 now, which is amazing. You also have 1-2, just for a quick without going into any stance. For -13, you have down forward 1-4, which gives amazing frames. For rage arts, you can just do down forward 3-4 and a guaranteed back 3 after that. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is for punishment. Now, for heat, she gets armor in every move that uses Azazel, so you can use that for pressure. And her heat smash is like, I think 13 frames. It's pretty fucking fast. So you can challenge and punish a lot of things with heat smash. Her other heat smash when she's a Scarecrow guarantees a back 3. So that's really all you need to know for heat. Heat dash, yeah, we all know how to use heat dash, Scarecrow 3-2, if you hold forward, she dashes forward, heat. There's one kind of hit combo I want to recommend before I end this video with down 3. Yeah, I am not doing a combo video. I'm going to leave some combo videos in the description for you guys. But please use it, because if you land this, it does so much good damage. Like, if they get up wrong, you pretty much win the round. I cannot count how many times this setup has won me games. When I get a heat engager off, especially when I get a heat engager off, I promise you no one knows how to not get hit. Even if they do, there is a mid you can do to still do more damage. Most people I do this to just tend to stay on the ground and accept fate. So make sure to use this combo. It's a great setup tool. It's just great. There's probably other setup tools that I'm not sure about. There's one I found at the wall, but I'm not going to use it because it's not really consistent. So yeah, that is your Zafina guide to blue ranks. And in my opinion, you can still use these tips until later ranks. I just don't really main her. But I had a lot of fun with the character, that's for sure. Just waiting for my Tekken 7 main, Lydia. She looks awesome. I cannot wait. My god, every time I open up Tekken 8, I'm gonna... Zafina is definitely gonna be more popular after the, the buffs, but she's still weird enough that some opponents might just one and done you. Yeah, they're definitely gonna one and done you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like or share or subscribe or all three, and have a great rest of your day. Cheers.
I might snap, get the fuck back. This is what you wanted, now I get the last laugh. How you like that? Make a ruckus, that's a must. Scratching at the surface till we all turn into dust.